IVM.
There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the survey.
You're a Scorpion. Oh my God. You guys can be so unforgiving and always seeking revenge. Any Scorpions tuned into this episode today? I'm sure you've heard this. Or then you've heard somebody in your friend circle say this about Scorpions. And no, this episode isn't really about zodiac signs. I'm just using that as an example. Hi, I'm Chetna, your favorite positive action coach, and this is Say No to Drama. Well, what I'm talking about today is revenge. And somehow, in the 12 signs of the Zodiac, Scorpions have this horrible reputation of being extremely vengeful or wanting revenge and thinking only about tit for tat. Well, let me tell you this. When somebody is cheated, when somebody feels betrayed, a lot of them, whether they are Scorpions or not, want revenge. Yes, it's actually literally that simple. I know Pisceans who want revenge and are absolutely unforgiving. I know Geminis who are like that, Capricorns who are like that, Aquarians who are like that. Okay, so it has nothing to do with your zodiac sign, but it has a lot to do with your basic nature and your relationship with anger, your belief system around justice and what is right and what is wrong. Also, whether you are a person who looks at life as black and white, and also whether you are somebody who thinks you are entitled to only good things happening, or then so protected that you have zero resilience to deal with anything that goes against you. How many of you all listened to the previous episode called Karma? There's a reason why I decided to do this one and talk about revenge, because a lot of people think that revenge is a form of justice or it stems from a space of wanting justice. But revenge is more about pain. Yes. It's like you are lashing out because you are hurt. And also, if you are hurt, then the other person who hurt you must also feel the pain. Otherwise, life isn't fair. So it comes down to life being fair or unfair. Now, here's the thing. You want revenge because you're in pain. You want to see somebody else suffer because you are suffering. You believe that's justice. Sure, well and good. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to question. However, when this need for revenge and this supposed need for justice takes over your entire day, every choice you make, everything that you are experiencing in your life, when it's ruling your thoughts, even when you are on a holiday, when it starts to dictate whether or not you trust another person, then, my dearest, that need for revenge is no longer about justice. It's become an unhealthy, overbearing pattern. If you are somebody who is in this tit for tat mode, oh, she did this to me. Oh, he did that to me. So now I should do this. Or, oh, because of this, then that is justified. If you're this person, let me just tell you, you are wasting precious time and energy that you should be putting into a lot more constructive things. This does not mean that you should let somebody off the hook, but it means that you need to figure out a way to process your anger, express it, maybe place some boundaries, process your pain, understand what is really bothering you, what belief of yours has been pushed in the wrong way. There's an episode that I did on forgiveness. Well, actually, there are multiple episodes. One is called Forgiveness. The other one is about not wanting to forgive and that being absolutely okay. As you listen to this episode, right after you're done with this one, I want you to go back and listen to those two. Why? Because you need to understand that if you are somebody who looks at life as black and white, and when you are harmed or hurt and you want revenge, you want justice, one is understand whether you want justice or whether you want revenge. Okay? Justice is saying somebody did something wrong. They need to make amends. They need to pay for it. They need to be punished, etc. Revenge is more about them hurting and feeling the same crappy way that you are feeling. And I know that when I talk about this, I bear in mind that sometimes the kind of incidents we go through, the kind of emotional abuse that somebody may have gone through, the traumatic experiences that someone may have, it's very easy for me to have these conversations and talk about revenge in this light manner, but it's not easy for that person. So when I'm giving you this perspective about revenge, it's not if you've gone through something really traumatic. This is more about heartbreak. This is more about being betrayed at work by a partner in a manner that is not immensely damaging or intensely damaging. Think about what are the incidents that actually merit anger, that actually merit pain, and that actually merit a reaction of the kind where you seek revenge and stop making it synonymous with justice or with karma. It isn't the same. It's a very different piece. It's a very different feeling. It's a very different desire. It's a very different ask. Justice is about being fair and square. Karma is about a consequence of an action. It's the law of cause and effect in a very, very powerful way. Revenge is more about inflicting pain and harm. Again, getting even isn't about justice being served or karma doing its thing. Do not misinterpret. Now, here's the thing. Which equation, which relationship in your life, which is that one space where it is very important for you to always get even? And in your desire to actually get even, is it about having the last word? So in the end, it really isn't about getting even, but rather being one up. Is it about your ego? Yes, that's a very, very important piece when we talk about revenge. It's often something that stems from the ego wanting to prove itself, the ego wanting to avenge you. Why? Because the ego is your bouncer. That's its primary function, to protect you, to make sure that your sense of self is always taken care of. But the ego many a times ends up wasting our time and energy. It ends up creating permanent leaks in our fuel tanks, leading to feeling desperate, a sense of despair, a sense of being treated unfairly, maybe even victim energy and feeling punished when none of that is even true. Be very careful about how you interpret your anger, your pain, and your need for something to happen to the person who has inflicted that pain on you, or for someone to pay for their actions. Life, I don't know if fortunately or unfortunately, isn't always fair in a way that we would like it to be, or in a way that we interpret the word fair. You know the times when somebody has cheated on someone and then the cheater goes on to have a really great relationship, whereas the person who was cheated on is left to deal with that heartbreak for months and years, and they struggle to find love again or to build a good relationship again. Now, here's the thing, and it's a whole different episode. However, you need to know that this isn't about justice being served or not. This isn't about life being unfair. It's about which person was in a state of power, who had the power in their hands, and it's about how the two people responded and reacted to an ugly situation in life. So yes, life can be unfair sometimes in a way, but is revenge really the answer? And are you really seeking justice, or then do you want to just get even? I'm going to leave you with this thought today because some of you might resonate with it because it's the kind of person you are. It's something that you are doing. It's a pattern that has suddenly clicked and you've become aware of right now as you were listening to me. Or then some of you know somebody who is acting out exactly like this. It's the oddest thing when I'm telling you that maybe you want to share this episode with somebody. Multiple ambulances are passing by my house where I'm sitting and recording this. Could that be a sign that this is an episode that could help someone heal? If so, make sure that you share the links of this episode on the IVM Podcast app and website. Also, if you need some help in healing and learning to trust once again, in letting go of this desire for tit for tat or for revenge or for getting even and this whole piece of karma and justice that may be holding you back, book a session with me. DM me on Instagram to book the session and let's get you through.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On The Habit Coach, we've hit our 700th episode. That's 700. Public speaker and professional development guide Tonya Lyon speaks to Ashton about how mindfulness and stillness can be transformative. On Ek Chuski Finance, Priyanka has an interesting story which urges women to take charge of their personal finances. On Pulyabazi, Pranay and Saurav debate whether prohibition is an effective policy when it comes to curbing alcohol consumption. On Audio Gyan, Kedar speaks to Hemant Jha. He is the founder of Honest Structures and they discuss designing aesthetically enticing products. And on Marathi Khidki Tun, the Deshmukhs introduce us to some lesser-known heroes that are working towards the betterment of society. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you enjoyed this show or any of our other shows for that matter, do please tell a friend. Also, don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms you're listening to us on. You can check us out on YouTube as well. On ivmpodcast.com/YouTube, we have a list of all of our YouTube channels. Do check out if your favorite show is available as full video. We are also doing a small listener survey to better understand how you respond to our shows and advertising on the network. We'd really appreciate it if you could spare a few minutes to fill it out. It helps us build better shows for you. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors for this week, SBI Life Insurance, India Water Portal, and Jupiter, a digital banking app. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Ladies, I'm sure you will relate to it if I say that we are constantly busy with work, studies, cooking, and what not. And amidst all of this, we often forget an important element that needs our desperate attention: finance. So here we are, bringing to you SBI Life presents A Sip of Finance, a women-exclusive podcast where we will teach you how to manage personal finances in a simple and straightforward way with your host, Priyanka Acharya, a finance expert who's been in the industry for 14 plus years. And not just in English, but in 7 more languages. So tune in every Tuesday for fresh episodes on the IVM Podcast Network and all major podcast streaming platforms.